Well, thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Wow. I see a couple things with the last few presentations. I have a face for radio. Brian says they can't wait for me to get back. I kind of like Long Beach, So anyway, a lot of things to think about. It has been a true honor and privilege to serve this wonderful membership over the past year as your president of the International Code Council. You have the very best and most professional, dedicated CEO and staff working in unison with your board of directors who continue to remain focused on the ICC goals, vision, and mission. In an effort not to miss anyone, I'm going to take the easy way out and start by saying thank you to everyone. There's just far too many to name. I look around the room, there's dozens of mentors that have mentored me throughout the years and continue to mentor now. Each of you continues to contribute to the ICC on many occasions. The board incorrectly gets to take the credit. It is you, the membership, and our outstanding staff that makes us who we are, and I want to applaud each of you and thank each of you. I need to thank a few individuals specifically, because without a real support network, we would have never been able to reach the milestones that we've achieved. First is my employer, Fairfax County, Virginia. I've been there 30 years, and all our administrators who understand the value and importance of what we do here at the Code Council. Two of our administrators had planned to be here, but due to workload and schedule constraints, were unable to attend. I'd like to recognize them anyway. The Department of Public Works and Environmental Services Director, James Patterson, who I've served with 30 years throughout my career, and our Director of Land Development Services, Bill Hicks. Bill is fairly new to our organization, and I know he was disappointed not to be able to attend this evening. Fairfax is still very well represented, as you saw earlier. My immediate supervisor and the building official of Fairfax County, Brian Foley, is here. I've worked with Brian for nearly 25 years in many capacities before he became my boss. He does not necessarily appreciate when I mention that he's my boss, but sometimes when he's at conferences and other management from Fairfax County go to conferences, they mention they're from Fairfax, and folks say, so how long have you worked for Guy? So I thought I'd just clarify that. As well as being an accomplished leader in our organization, Brian has been a very good friend of mine, and I need to thank him for all he's done and continues to do. There's also several other county staff here from our building and fire divisions, and I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Captain George Hollingsworth, who was up here earlier, who I've gotten to know very well over the years, and he also has become a great friend and colleague. I'm thankful for the situation of building and fire relationship in Fairfax County. I'm thankful for the situation that I have been afforded by Fairfax, so I hope that you have an opportunity to speak with some of my colleagues during the conference, because as Brian said, honestly, you may have seen them more than I have in the past year. I also want to recognize from the members of the Virginia Building, Fire, Plumbing, and Mechanical chapters. If you would please stand, all my fellow Virginians. If you would please give them applause. I owe so much to these folks. They've continually supported me and ICC, and they are truly some of the most dedicated building safety professionals in our industry. Thank you to all. Next, I'd like to thank the members of the ICC Region 7. If you would please stand. That is 7 states, including the District of Columbia. Thank you. This group has been a model regional ICC chapter, demonstrating the value and effectiveness of several states and many localities networking for the betterment of our profession and truly defining raising the profile. I've gained many friends from this organization, and I want to thank all of them. Dominic already mentioned our strategic partners, but I'd like to mention them, who all they include one more time: the National Home Builders Association, the American Institute of Architects, the Building Owners and Managers Association, and the Multifamily Housing Association, and the American Gas Association. And before I forget to mention a special guest tonight, I'd like to mention Linda Burton, who is with us. Ron Burton meant so much to me and this organization. I've said it many times when we were having spirited debates about, for example, how well CDP access was being implemented and how we could do better. Ron Burton was one of the first people to stand up and say, wait a minute, I think we got a better solution, and I think he was always the first to speak on behalf of ICC. And here's board members sitting in the same room in the same meetings, and Ron would take the lead and say, I think we're going in the right direction. And he would help lead that path. And I think that's what I'll remember him most for. And I'm privileged to be able to know him. I'm privileged to get to know Linda at the conference. And I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us. Linda, if you would please rise. These organizations continue to support the ICC mission, and it's been an honor to work alongside them. I also want to thank the many 360 ICC chapters, all our stakeholders and industry professionals, and all of you, the members, for continuing to define who we are and where we're going. You are ICC, and you are making a positive difference. Lastly, and most importantly, I need to say thank you to all of the ICC staff. Please, if you don't mind, would all the ICC staff here rise and be recognized? Wow. It is impossible to stand here tonight and explain just what all they do. I mentioned earlier that the board continually gets credit and accolades for much of the work that others do. So tonight, I wanted to pull back the curtain and let you and them know it's the staff, it's not us, and I sincerely thank you, and so does your board of directors. Please, you give them a round of applause. Thank you. Our platform this year was the next generation. Working together, we have accomplished so much towards that concept. From a business side, we have continued to stabilize the budget as we have for the past few years. At this point, it's not a spike. I feel confident in saying that we are trending in a positive direction. This is just but one example, but a big one, that we have a clear understanding with the CEO on the direction of the organization and where we are committed to moving forward together. If you were to examine closely some of the most highly successful companies and organizations, you will see many common attributes with the ICC, which have helped them and us be successful. Adaptability is one that stands out, and probably the one that most of us are familiar with. However, another quality that is not so advertised is a stability in the leadership position. The ICC has had several CEOs over the past 13 years, and this year your board of directors felt in order to continue trending towards success, we must extend our CEO's contract, which we did, and it will be enacted this year. Dominic, congratulations, and I know you'll continue to make the right decisions in the years to come. It's been a pleasure working with you. This year we finalized a monumental partnership with the harmonization of the Green Code and ASHRAE 189.1. We've also created several other partnerships with standards development communities. This month we will complete Group A of our code development cycle, which is about half of the 2018 ICC family of codes, and we'll have done it using CDP access. On a member side, just yesterday we launched a new, more structured partnership initiative with the ICC chapters as Partners for Success. Just today, working with the past presiding officers, we've launched Journey to Leadership program, and we have continued to focus on the high school program. These are the types of initiatives that will greatly assist us in building the foundation of preparing for the next generation. Planning for the future is paramount in all that we do, and it doesn't necessarily take a lot of resources. Mentorship and succession planning should be at the heart of each of our decisions, leading by example, finding new ways to engage and encourage those that follow us, finding new ways to outreach using technology, and continuing to build relationships. We have to be in social media. Statistics show that it is a primary requirement for the younger generation to work in any profession. I personally don't really know how to tweet, but I know that we really need to do it. Clearly setting expectations and staying focused on them. Spending more time on what we can do instead of getting mired down in what we can't do. That's how we continue to move forward, and that's how we continue on the path to success. I attended an IT seminar this year, and the speaker emphasized on 3 things that I want to share. First, he said that tomorrow's perfection is simplistic. Second, he quoted, "The way to solve mechanical problems is with technology solutions." And third, he said, "Megatrends is not about predicting the future, but rather preparing for a host of scenarios." Think about this, simplifying our processes and our codes by using technology, changing the fundamental culture of the way we do business in general, by preparing for the many different scenarios that we face. This is what the next generation expects, and this is what our customers deserve. The building departments across the nation are as much a part of the economic development as any other department in any locality. In fact, in most cases, probably more so. We are the user's last experience before they become the economic driver themselves. Our world evolves around the user's experience, and we need to be on the leading edge of that experience. Professionalism is just another method of how we raise the profile. I hope in some way, at this very conference, someone was able to motivate and inspire each of you to do more. Volunteerism is at the heart of this concept. So apply for committee service, sign up for council, write a code change proposal, or maybe testify on some, provide training in some way, take advantage of the preferred provider program, and mostly continue to stay involved with chapter service. I assure you that you will see returns twofold of what you put in, and that's a great investment. Simply stated, the building safety profession is a rewarding career. So as we go about our daily lives, let's continue to promote all the positive in building safety. On the rare occurrence when a tragic accident happens, the news often forgets to comment on how rare it is, or how the tens of thousands of other installations continue to working so well. So tonight, on behalf of the ICC CEO, the staff, and your board of directors, we are giving you that thanks and that recognition for all you do and all the projects that worked well. It is true, when nothing happens, we have done our job. You are the silent defenders and the first preventers, so please give yourselves a round of applause. In closing tonight, I have to recognize the people who mean most to me and are most special. First, you've already met is my brother Gary. He's a retired lieutenant from the U.S. Navy, and I'd like to be able to publicly thank him tonight for serving this great country and keeping us safe for more than 27 years. His lovely wife, Wee, is with him tonight, and ironically, Lee and Gary haven't missed the conferences since I became an officer, so that's quite impressive. My son Nathan, who's become quite an outstanding young man with a lot of character. My daughter Natasha, who is a beautiful young lady who has become a wonderful mother to my granddaughter Brooklyn, and my granddaughter Brooklyn, who has completely changed our lives in such a wonderful way. Each and every day, these kids continue to remind me of what I know I've done well, and I'm extremely proud of them. However, the truth is I must give all the credit for the best family a man could have, along with an amazingly fulfilling professional career, to my wife, Sandy. Sandy and I dated back in high school, got married the next year, and haven't looked back a single day in almost 33 years now. Having her at home while I'm away has given me confidence that all is well, and her support of me improving the building safety community has been one of the most selfless and generous things I could ask for. So tonight, Sandy, thank you for putting up with all the shop talk at dinners, birthdays and anniversaries during conferences, and vacations where I ended up working half the time, but mostly just for putting up with me. I couldn't have made this journey without you, and I wouldn't have wanted to. You're my best friend and my partner, and I'm lucky to have you in my life. I love you more than anything. Thank you. Thank you all for a great year, and I assure you I will continue to serve to the best of my ability. The reason I chose being a code official was actually just a stroke of luck. Actually, I was in the plumbing apprenticeship program out in Virginia, and my instructor worked for Fairfax County, and they needed some inspectors. They were hiring, 3 inspectors, and I just happened to be one of the 3 people that put in for the position, so I ended up getting the position, and I've been there ever since for 30 years now. It seems like everything that's happened has just been good luck and good fortune. I've been blessed in my family, and got 2 wonderful children who are adults now, and a grandchild, 3-year-old grandchild. And my wife and I have been together since high school. We've been married 32 years. And she's been very supportive of my work with the ICC. And in my career, I've had a real supportive locality to work for that's always been able to allow me to do the travel and to participate in the important topics that we deal with at ICC. It's all been memorable. We've created friendships and relationships, and there's no one specific moment that I can say that I've valued more than the other, because it's just been such a rewarding experience being able to serve as the president of this organization. My most proud accomplishment is just being able to be a part of such a phenomenal group of professionals. You get 18 people together in a room. It's difficult to find common ground, but what we've come to find is working together, we're able to find the right solutions. And having differences of opinion has made us become a better board, and we're able to work more closely and uniformly with the CEO, which is one of our primary responsibilities. The stability in the budget has probably been our biggest accomplishment as a board over the past several years, to be able to look back and see that we've achieved a level of stability and not so much of a certain time of the economic environment. It's been great to see, and it's good to know that we've provided the best service for the membership that we could. I've traveled and spoken with a lot of chapters. I tell all of them to encourage them to get involved and engaged to whatever level they have the availability. And that involves getting on a council and watching email traffic if they don't have time to be away, or participate in committee discussions and things like that. At least be aware of what ICC is doing. And then moving into exam development or code development committees or code action committees, or getting more engaged in any of the council work that we have going on. And that leads to being more engaged, finding out what exactly you want to be involved with ICC. And engaging the chapters, I believe, is a top priority. I believe partnerships is how we're going to be successful, and I believe that engaging the chapters is where it all starts. The members are very happy with CDP Access from the conversations I've had. It's been a big success from the board side of things and the ICC side of the platform. We're an organization that offers a platform to get engaged and involved in code development, and by doing CDP Access, we've broadened the majority of folks that can get involved with code development that want to have never been able to do the travel. So it's been a positive experience, and we're hearing a lot of positive comments back. The chapters are pleased with our website now. We did an upgrade on the website this year, and they were able to navigate our services and products a little more easily, and folks are pleased about that. There's a few issues of concern. Code development cycles and code adoption cycles in some areas are becoming extended, and members are concerned about how is ICC trying to react to that type of activity. The ICC Journey to Leadership initiative was created by the past presiding officers, and part of the board's platform this year has been the next generation. So these two initiatives work hand in hand. So I was ecstatic to hear that the past presiding officers were taking the lead on putting together this program. And this is all about getting the next generation involved in ICC activities and the building professional in general. It's not limited to code development. It's not limited to any particular aspect of ICC. It's getting involved in the overall building profession like we do, and being a building safety professional in one aspect or another. So it was a great initiative. I was glad to be a part of it, and humbled by the broad spectrum of events that are happening now to start engaging newer members and younger generation into our business. The next generation and the journey to leadership are two good examples. The high school program's another good example. We're trying to harvest information from our chapters. We have more than 360 chapters at ICC, and we're trying to garner information from them to try and figure out how to continue to invoke new folks into our profession. In my shop alone, we've hired, in the past year, we've probably hired 9 new inspectors in just residential inspections alone. And they're more the younger generation, and they are using the technology. I'm very fortunate to be in the locality I'm in. We're utilizing electronic technology. Our inspectors have smartphones and laptops, computers for their workload. So these types of things are actually helping create a good work environment and a pleasant work environment for the newer generation. So they have the electronics that they're used to, and it enables to do more efficient and effective inspections. I see we're going to, at some point, we will be an electronic society. I don't know that code books will be they will probably be a thing of the past. And I think the board's going to move in that direction, and I think that the organization will become digitized. That's probably going to be one of the biggest challenges, is how to make that happen. The satisfaction that we're making the world a safer place. I really genuinely feel like every time we've debated a code change on the floor, or had a discussion on a committee, or written a test question, or taken a test question, I think that we're all working towards making the world a safer place. And we're doing it by building construction, and I think that's the best place to start. I think we're saving lives, so our first responders don't have to risk theirs to the extent that they have in the past. I think that the codes are written to continue to protect everybody. We're all about health, safety, and welfare of the public, and I feel like that motivates me. That makes me want to continue to do a great job, and it makes me passionate. And folks have said, that they can see the passion in my activities and everything that I do, and I hope that continues to stay. I hope that that's what I get remembered for, is somehow or another a legacy of being passionate about our profession, working hard to try and make it better, and trying to lay the groundwork for the future.